top of Trey Mountain, 4,300 feet in the air. This is where I camped last night. Windy and cold. Sunrise is looking beautiful. Getting ready to head out. Good morning, y'all. Hope you enjoyed those beautiful sunrise pictures and video here on top of Trey Mountain. Heading down right now. It's really not that cold, but that wind makes it cold. It's probably 40 at this point. It definitely got cooler during the night. At one point, it felt like it was getting warmer, and then next time I woke up, it definitely was not. It was getting colder. So I must have been having some dreams or something that was making me warm. This is the beginning of day 6. The reason that 4, 5, and 6 is all together on this video is unfortunate, and it definitely was giving me stress for a minute, but it is what it is. And so when I dropped my phone on Blood Mountain, it really damaged it. I didn't notice it at first because when I hit last night's really cold weather, it was super cold last night in camping outside, and even though I had it on my body, I think it really affected it because there were so many cracks in the phone from that fall. It just started not working and moving around, flickering around. I couldn't clip on it. I couldn't even use far out. So it's a good thing that the white blazes are prominent here, because I couldn't really figure anything out on where I was going without it. Well, I mean, I would have been able to. The trails aren't that bad around here, but yeah, it just was kind of stressful. The bad part is I got a lot of really good video for day 4 and 5, but unfortunately, I can't click on anything to put them into my app that puts them all together. The phone has just totally went on the Ritz now, to where I can't use it. It turns on once in a while. I'm able to make a phone call, and when I say once in a while, I mean I have to try it like 20 times to be able to click on something. It just flickers all around. Well, anyway, I don't want to bore you with that anymore. The point is that all that video for days 4 and 5 is a loss. So I'll give you a quick rundown. It was probably on day 4, it was 4 mountains summited, 5 almost summited, but one of the trails got changed, I think, that they got worked on this year for erosion from a park ranger that I had talked to. There was some awesome trail magic on day 4, my first trail magic of the AT, and it was also their first trail magic of the year, but it was a really nice setup. Chicken noodle soup, fresh, a quinoa salad, all kinds of goodies like desserts, brownies, pound cake, and you better believe I tried all of it. And I went halfway down a mountain to chase a little bottle of Gatorade that dropped out of my hand, and that was fun until I realized that I had to go back up that side of the mountain. It was very steep and muddy, but I made it, didn't fall or anything. So four mountain summited that day. Real nice sunny day. Started warming up a bit. Just the nights get a little chilly. Of course, right now I'm at 4,300 feet in the air, which is the second highest point, I believe, that I've been so far, after Blood Mountain. Let's see. 4 mountains summited. Then yesterday, got up from a chilly day, got a good early start, got about 28 miles total over the last 2 days. I think yesterday was about 16 of that. And let's see, might be a give or take a mile or two, but because also I couldn't click my phone for that to see how far it went. Yeah, yesterday about the same, about 3 or 4 mountains summited, a lot of ups and downs, some of it steep. Yesterday had a lot of rocky descents that was really steep. But besides that, it's just, walking, hiking, enjoying the beauty around you. It's like all kinds of beauty. Right now it's a lot of leaves, downed leaves on the trail, so sometimes it's hard to tell where the trail is at times, but it's usually somewhat visible. And then, of course, you have the white blades as well. Going through a lot of mountain laurel, like tunnels. Probably will do that on the descent here because there was quite a bit coming up. But the reason I'm able to record these right now is this is actually a backup phone that I had. I don't know. I guess I knew that my phone would break at some point. I bought a backup phone in case I needed it for videos and, you know, to use far out and all that. So that's what I'm doing now. I actually have a new phone being sent to me thanks to my beautiful fiance for having my back and being able to get all that taken care of at home. Because if I would have, number one is I couldn't order it and have it sent to me because I couldn't use my phone. It was just all flickering and couldn't push on a button or anything. Can't read what you're seeing on the screen. So I'm glad she had that. I have awesome support from her, especially. And then, of course, you know, family and of course, a lot of you that are watching and supporting me along the way and cheering me on. I appreciate it all in all aspects, whether it's donations, whether it's prayers, whether it's just, you know, kind messages of, hey, I'm cheering you on, enjoying your videos, any of it. It all makes you feel really good and even stronger. So, you're getting my early morning rambles here, but I just wanted to kind of fill you in what's going on. So, in the whole scheme of things, 27 miles is not on video. But in the whole scheme of things, there's 2,200 miles of the Appalachian Trail. So, there's going to be plenty of video that you all get to see each day as it comes out of what happened that day before or 2 days before, if it's delayed or whatever. But I do want to thank you all for tagging along on this journey, and I hope that you're happy with what I'm showing you. It makes you feel like you're out there, because that is the whole reason I do it. I want those who can't be out here to feel like you're out here with me as I'm doing this year to raise awareness for osteoporosis, that crippling disease. And because I have the beginning stages of that diagnosed last year, so very close to my heart. And I want people that are suffering with that may not be able to, maybe a later stage, and maybe not be able to do this as much, to enjoy this hike along the way. And of course everybody else as well. But all right, I'll quit rambling for now as I'm going down the descent of Trey Mountain. I'm already getting hot. But anyway, that's the story right now. So hopefully the video over the next day or two will be good quality, good enough quality. If not, bear with me. It will get better when that new phone gets to me and we go back to you know, the quality that the others were. But let's carry on. So far, the descent off of Trey Mountain has been pretty cruisy. A lot of dirt and leaves. You don't have those big step downs of rocks like you have on some of the other mountains. So it's a nice gradual way to start the morning. Talking about morning, haven't really, I think I mentioned it on day 4 in the videos, but obviously those videos are lost. I'm still going to try to retrieve them somehow, so maybe they'll still end up on the channel, so be looking for them, or hit that bell if you're subscribed, and it should notify you when any new ones come out. But you know, based on how it was acting yesterday, I'm thinking that's not going to happen. It's probably not going to be able to be retrieved. So talking about morning and gradual and all that, let's talk about my body. It's been super strong, like a machine most of the time. I just keep going and going and going. Haven't had to have too many days, or too many times I should say, of stopping. Actually, I haven't had any times of having to stop because of pain. It's only been because I wanted a snack, or, you know, to do my business. But my back was hurting a little bit yesterday and the day before. If you followed me in the PCT, you know that I fractured my back last year and kept going another 100+ days afterwards. That's when we found out about the diagnosis of osteoporosis, softening of the bones. And obviously, you know, we'll talk a lot more about that throughout this Thru-Hike. But the back still gets sore, and some days are worse than others. It's really the first day I had any back pain, and it wasn't that bad. It was very manageable. But I did wake up in the middle of the night last night with my hips hurting. That happened last year when I got to Oregon on the PCT. and it's when the night started getting colder. So I think it has something to do with how cold the night is, and that I'm probably just stiffening up, and then it's becoming painful, rolling around and such, like if I'm on one hip too long or something. So I think that's all that is. As soon as I get walking, I'm good. But it's actually even shocking me. I knew I was in shape. I knew that I still had my trail legs from the PCT. I knew that my hiker hunger was definitely still there. I did that on purpose over the last 4 months since I got off that Thru-Hike to keep myself strong and trained, but not wear myself out, to also be able to give myself good rest, but still keep myself fresh. And apparently I had the right formula, because I'm just feeling super strong every day. I could keep going longer, but there's no point of it at this point. At this point, I'm trying to just do, the 15s or 20s average, and then, as I progress, it'll be more, 20, 25s. And but right now, I could be doing 25s right now, I think, but I just don't want to yet. I don't want to take that chance. That knee pain that I talked about, I think on day 1 or 2, that I had a little bit of pain in the top of my calf, in the backside of my knee, but that was there before I came out, just a couple days before, almost like my body knew what was happening, knew what I was going to start putting it through again. So it might have been in my mind, I don't know, but I remember making a remark to my fiance there one night that I think I'm just going to be able to walk that out. Well, apparently that's what happened. Apparently I walked it out, because I haven't felt any pain back there at all since then, since day 1 or 2, whenever I talked about that. So everything's good. Definitely feeling strong and feeling, like I'm conquering, and that's exactly what I want to feel like. If it wasn't for that phone, the only thing that's giving me stress, I'm stressed every day, I'm just going to be honest, because I'm missing, my future wife. That's tough. That's a tough part of this, because, especially when the phone goes down, we can't talk like we normally do, because the phone works, 10% of the time to be able to call through. So that's a little rough part, because we, both of us just want to be around each other all the time, of course. And that obviously can't happen when I'm on a Thru-Hike. So we communicate and keep in touch as much as possible and support each other 100% in our endeavors and individual adventures. Even though most of our adventures are together as a team, we obviously still have our individual things that we do. We have we're perfectly fitted together, let's put it that way. So I shout out to my babe Lane. You're awesome, and I appreciate everything you do. I love you, and I can't wait to see you here in a few weeks when you come to see me out here and spend some time together. But I won't make you all ill by talking about the romance too much here right now, but definitely have to mention my babe. But yeah, everything's really strong. Everything's going good. So at this point, I'm feeling on top of the world. I know there's going to be plenty of obstacles along the way, but as of right now, feeling strong and taking advantage of that strongness and seeing the beauty and the trail and everything I could see along the way. All right, continuing on. The plan is today that I'm going to continue coming north bound on the Appalachian Trail. That's the one plan I do know. I'm in trouble if I get turned around and start going the other direction. That's going to add unnecessary miles. But yeah, came down Trey Mountain, started going up something else here, came to a little flat spot before, looks like up here just a little ways, start going up again. But going just about 10-11 miles today to Around the Bend Outfitters and Hostel. I'm going to do some resupply there, depending if I like the hostel and the pricing and everything. Probably stay there because I need to, so I could charge up this backup phone, and I'm going to try to work on the other phone, see if maybe I can get some videos together for day 4 and 5. I would love to be able to share that with y'all, but again, don't hold your breath. But gonna try to work on that, but then also kind of get a plan over the next couple days of where I'm going to be on what days. Because obviously, you know, I may have some packages that I need to receive, so I need to know kind of an idea where I'm going to be, which it won't be too hard to figure out. I just need to take the time to look at the map and everything. Right now, about 17 miles with what I've walked so far from North Carolina border. By the time I stop there tonight, I will be down to 8 or 9, which means tomorrow I'm going to be out of Georgia and into North Carolina. I'm pretty stoked about that. So that's, yes, I did almost fall, and you're welcome. It's great TV, isn't it? But that's the loose plan of today. Obviously, things change. Sometimes I decide to go on. Sometimes I decide to stop early. Who knows what's going to happen on this 6th day of the trail. But you will know as it happens. I will make sure to keep you all informed. Something I mentioned on the video on day 5 that, you know, is never going to get to be seen because it's on the other phone that got broke, was the fact that I've started really early the last couple days. I'm sorry, yesterday I started really early. The day before that was coming back from needing to get into the store at Neil's Gap, which didn't open until 9, so it got me a little later start, about almost 10 o'clock. Problem is, with those days, you can't really get the mileage that you want, so it kind of slows you down, but that's okay. Helps for planning in the future, like today, because I like getting started early. I like getting started at least by sunset, or sunrise, I'm sorry, by sunset, that's funny. By sunrise, you know, sometimes even earlier, you know, when it's still dark, do like an hour of night hiking. I just like getting that early start and having 8 to 10 miles by 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, you know, somewhere around there, at least by noon. You know, being at that 8 to 10 mile range by that point puts you in a good position for the day. So that's what's happening today. Got a good early start coming down from Trey Mountain. And, you know, by the time I get to around the bend hostel and store there, Outfitters, it should be like 12 o'clock, maybe 1 o'clock at the latest, which is really good position because that gives me plenty of time to do all the things I need to do, whether it be laundry, resupply, you know, get the phones and the chargers all charged up, so I'm ready to go for the next couple days without having to stop anywhere. So that's why I really like to do that instead of feeling rushed because you're getting in too late and then you're leaving super early. I mean, I literally have not had a Nero or zero yet, almost a weekend, and I guess this would count as a Nero today if I ended up staying there. So that's why I planned it this way, to leave early, get there, you know, 2,500 or so of elevation today, nothing too big. So be nice and rested, get some good rest, take a nice hot shower, eat some good food, and I'll be on my way in the morning and feel even more energized and rejuvenated. So climbing up here another mountain, and it reminds me that there's been several mountains in the last couple days, like I mentioned earlier, that, you know, summited, but was on video then, but unfortunately not gonna get to see those, but I'm gonna try to remember some of them here. You had Cow Rock, you had Poor Mountain, you had Sheep Rock Mountain, or Sheep Rock Top, I believe it was called. There was another one that was something Top, but it was basically the top of a smaller mountain. And then you had Trey Mountain, where I stayed last night, a couple others yesterday, I can't remember their name. But all of those are in the bag. Unfortunately, they don't count as much since you didn't get to see them on the video, but that's not my fault. Technology, well, actually it was my fault because I dropped the phone. But technology has nothing to do with still summiting a mountain. So, you know, I'm sure you're getting by now. I like to celebrate being on top of mountains. It's my thing. It's not just hiking. Hiking is awesome. Being in nature is awesome, but a big part of that is conquering. It's very symbolic to me, just like when you overcome something in life and you get on top of that mountain, you've overcame that obstacle and you're standing on top of it. There's something magical about that, something spiritual down deep in my soul that gets me emotional every time. So I like to celebrate it and have you all celebrate it with me. So coming up to another mountain here, and don't remember the name right off the top of my head, but you better believe we're celebrating it when we get there. Whoa! I don't know if you can see it on here, but there's a trail up there. Goes straight up this mountain. Woohoo! Wildcat Mountain. That's also in the bag. That was a tough one. I better mention that one. It was extremely steep. Probably the steepest one so far. About 25%, I'd think. Percent grade. The reason I remember it is because this one's pretty steep too. It's like, oh yeah, Wildcat. So I think this one's about 800 feet of elevation in like a mile, so not quite. It's more like, I don't know, 18-19%, but still steep nonetheless. Top of Kelly Knob. That was a steep one, probably the second steepest so far. You could see those mountains in the background, decent view. Trees a little blocking a little bit, but Kelly Knob is in the bag.